Gallery America, brought to you in part by the Pauline Dwyer Mecklenburg and Robert A. Mecklenburg Jr. Foundation, and Simmons Allspa, and by Jasmine and Melvin Moran.
On this edition of Gallery America, some of the best things come in small packages at 12 by 12 in Oklahoma City.
You really get to see kind of that cross of everybody's work all in one space. It really is something to see.
Find out what Boston Ballet stars do when they're in charge.
Just go with the flow, I think. Go whatever you guys feel.
Meet a legacy of art in Houston, Texas.
Painting is the most magnificent creative capability that I know of as a visual artist.
And in Tampa, Florida, a play inspired by true events tells an all-too-human tale.
They use animals to discuss everyday family and friendship issues, and it makes it easier to talk about.
It's all ahead on this edition of Gallery America. Welcome to Gallery America on OETA. I'm Susan Cadeau, bringing you the best in the arts from Oklahoma and from around the nation. There's an old saying that good things come in small packages. Nowhere is that more true than at a special event in Oklahoma City where established and emerging artists fit all of their talent into a 12-inch by 12-inch frame. It's all for a good cause.
The painting I have here tonight is called Oklahoma Saturday Night, and it's a Native American holding a martini with one olive. Just a little fun piece.
It's great watching people just get in touch with the piece and start figuring it out. That's the best of all. Whether a piece sells or not, it's the whole point of touching somebody and getting them to interact. That's the ultimate.
I'm having a great time. I want to see what the other artists are doing as much as anything else. It's incredible to be able to see the quality of the work. I want to buy about 15 pieces. I really do. And it's kind of intimidating. The competition is really stiff this year. But as an artist, I want to be here more than anything for that reason.
Welcome to 12 by 12, an annual fundraising event that asks Oklahoma artists to let their imaginations soar within certain parameters.
All of the works have to be 12 by 12, or if they're three-dimensional works, by 12. So all of the works will stay within that size limit.
Holly Moy is the director for the Oklahoma Visual Arts Coalition, better known as OVAC.
The 12 by 12 art fundraiser is OVAC's only annual fundraiser. It's very important to us. The 12 by 12 awards about 20% of our budget through the monies that are raised tonight.
Artists are invited to submit their best work each year, and patrons flock to see the offerings.
When you see this kind of work and you see it all together and you get the sense and feel of the things that are happening in our state from an artistic perspective, but you see it all in one place, not perhaps one person's show in a gallery or in a space, but you really get to see kind of that cross of everybody's work all in one space. It really is something to see.
Guests compete to take their favorite mini masterpiece home via a silent auction. Bidding starts for each piece at $175.
Throwing money around. We've only been on one each so far, so not exactly throwing money around, but we have been known to do that. I think this is one of the most fun fundraisers in Oklahoma City.
I can't tell you exactly why. I think it's the vibe. I think it's just the whole, you get art from a very well-known artist for usually not a lot of money, and so there's some prestige in that. I usually bring friends with me to introduce them to it because I just think it's so cool.
I didn't know about it. I love it though. It is the neatest thing. All these people, all different walks of life. Can't beat it. I've been on the skyline, the Oklahoma City skyline, because it just spoke to me. It was neat. It's Oklahoma City. What can I say?
I've been on the Pink Flamingo because we went to the zoo twice this year with my grandnieces and nephews, and they loved the flamingos, and so I thought, well, okay, that's a memory of this year with certain members of my family. I have 16 12x12s in my office, all in a row, and that one will fit just perfectly. It'll be a great memory if I get it.
Well, it's for a good cause. They give scholarships, they help artists different ways, I guess any way they can. So it's just a good function, and I'm happy to participate in it.
OVAC has been such a springboard for me in my career as an artist. It encourages me and it gives me different programs to apply for, to be involved in, not only to volunteer with, but to also have the opportunity to exhibit. This is my first year, and I am just so encouraged to be a part of so many talented artists, and I'm just eager to see how it will go.
We've been in the 12x12 for about 7 or 8 years now, so we've really enjoyed being able to bring something and helping to support our local artists, events, and so it's been really a real joy to just kind of be able to share what you do with others and then help others.
I'm a part of a number of boards. One's the Portrait Society of America. We have a fundraiser similar. It is never this much energy. It is never bring in the kind of money that this does. It's really amazing. I remember when it started, a few hundred people might show up for the whole event. It has turned into the art event, especially for fundraising in Oklahoma City. Look around. Everybody wants to be here. And of course, it's all drawn by the art, which for artists is probably the greatest compliment an artist could get, that this many people want to come and be a part of this. It really is.
This marks the 26th year for the 12x12 art exhibition, where established and emerging artists hope for high bids, patrons vie for deals, and the cultural health of an entire state gets a big little boost.
Oh, blue sky.
For more information about the Oklahoma Visual Arts Coalition, visit their website at ovac-okc.org. Now for our Oklahoma Arts Fun Fact. Did you know that the Oklahoma Visual Arts Coalition has a catalog of over 500 artists from around the state on its website? Check it out and see the array of work created right here in Oklahoma. Now we head to the East Coast, where Boston Ballet principal dancer Jeffrey Serio has created what's essentially a salon for his fellow dancers. It's a place where they have the freedom to create, to push themselves, and where there are no restrictions. He calls it the Serio Collective.
I just hope that I'm doing my own thing and doing it well to the max.
In just 6 years on Boston Ballet's stage, most of them as a principal dancer, Jeffrey Serio has become a force, owning the stage with rarefied skill. And in a bit of genetic bonanza, much the same can be said for his equally exquisite sister, Leah.
We really need to remember that as dancers, that we started doing this because it was something freeing, and you have to go back to that.
The siblings Serio were born to dance. She when she first saw the Nutcracker at age 3, and he when he saw his older sister perform. Their lives have been intertwined ever since.
I don't think we've ever been
so.
jealous of each other. Sometimes he acts more like my older brother. Now that we're in our 20s, I feel like sometimes he's like, I don't know, the boss of me. I don't know. It's just a weird dynamic, and it's funny. I feel like we're equals now, where we are.
Where they are is distilling dance down to the joy of it. The pair have formed the Serio Collective, rallying a group of friends to create and perform during their dance downtime.
I sort of just want to guide it and not be that person where we say, hey, this is the only way to do it. And I think we're very open. Just go with the flow, I think. Go whatever you guys feel.
The collective is all about the collaboration, Leah says, a safe harbor for expression without the pressures of the ballet world.
I'm very conscious of what my artistic director is thinking and where my ranking is in the company. And I think that affects who I am as a dancer, and I feel like being in this environment will help me shed it all.
No rule-bound restrictions here either.
As ballet dancers, we tend to think about our technique. If our performance quality is the best it can be, and that is really important, but sometimes you just need to be free and let it go.
This is a space where creativity runs rampant. Offstage, Jeffrey has balanced an already all-consuming life in dance with a fledgling career in choreography. His piece Fremd was on the bill for Boston Ballet's contemporary dance program in May.
I wanted something that wasn't very literal, but had a main character and could be about crossing a boundary.
His process begins with music and tends toward mashups. Fremd is a mix of electronic and Chopin. When he listens, the music becomes visceral and physical.
When you hear the violin, it just goes, and it cuts out. So it has that flow and then sharp. I like to translate those things throughout my movement. And sometimes it might not work, but I try to make it work.
I love his choreography because it is so musical. You can really see the music in his choreography.
This fall, Jeffrey departs Boston for New York, where he'll join American Ballet Theater. Leah remains one of Boston Ballet's leading lights. Together, as a collective, though, they dance on.
We're just gonna push as far as we possibly can. I don't know, it's gonna be something special, definitely. Something that people are gonna notice.
You can learn more about the Serio Collective online at seriocollective.com. Now put on your most creative thinking cap. It's time to test your art IQ with the Gallery America Art Quiz. Who painted the 1434 wedding portrait of Giovanni Arnolfini and his wife? Was it A, Pablo Picasso, B, Michelangelo, C, Jan van Eyck, or D, Hieronymus Bosch? See if you can answer without using Google, and we'll tell you if you're right in just a few minutes. From the Renaissance period to present day, we take you to Houston, Texas, where Michael Roque Collins is building on his family's artistic legacy by using his own unique voice.
For me, art is plumbing the soul. There is a need to express. And the question is how that expression becomes artful. Painting is the most magnificent creative capability that I know of as a visual artist. My name is Michael Roque Collins, and I'm an artist. When I was a young boy, my parents, my grandparents, my aunts and uncles were all artists. So that might doom me to servitude, stretching, sizing, and priming, and that was the case. But my early passion was in drawing. Eventually, dreams that I had from my childhood became the driving force in my art. My father, Lowell Collins, was a well-known artist in our region. He spent most of his life in Houston, but studied abroad, Art Students League in New York, Colorado School of Arts and Design. He came to Houston, had a variety of jobs teaching at Rice University and University of Houston. And he also ended his professional teaching career as Dean of the Museum School, now called Glassell. When I was growing up, to have two parents and aunts and uncles that were all artists, it was a blessing and somewhat of a curse. But that's part of the struggle. We each, as artists, find our own voice. I realized as a painter that we need to go deep into what we do and be singular with our experiences. We differed in the sense that I'm continuing focusing on painting, where his life was more of a Renaissance creation where many aspects professionally in art became a factor. I was classically trained, and when you look at the series of my work over time, I started off with a series that was representationally related to recording people, places, and things, the realistic years. Then my work started to take on the notion of dreamscapes, and then finally, after many years of narrative, that narrative started to ebb in the mid-2000s into work that dealt with post-symbolistic tendencies, where I'm wanting the viewer to have an experience, to encounter light, land, darkness, enlightenment, and have their own conclusion, their own narrative, their own story becomes told by their engagement with the composition. So I think art does reflect our life's journey. Our loves, our relationships, all those great things that make our culture exciting to live in. I think true success is the ability to find something in your life that provides joy. And if that joy can provide, that experience of painting can provide illumination, a certain enlightenment to others, even reflecting the tribulations in life. You do your job as an artist to communicate those tragic glories that are humankind. And I hope at the end of my life, I can say that my work has meant something, that it relates to fundamental issues about the human condition, the heart, the emotion, and that it has a connection, a deep connection to future generations that would look at it and experience and locate and find newness upon each glance.
You can find out more about Michael Roque Collins by visiting michaelroquecollins.net. And now, here are the answers to our arts quiz. Who painted the Arnolfini wedding portrait that hangs in the National Gallery in London? The answer is C, Jan van Eyck. The classic work is an oil on oak panel. Tampa, Florida's StageWorks Theater aims to inspire and celebrate the human spirit. In addition to stage plays, their outreach programs promote education, creativity, and diversity. Their latest effort is called Birds of a Feather by Mark Aceto. Here's a look.
StageWorks Theater is a 31-year-old theater company here in Tampa Bay. It was founded by Anna Brennan, who is a director and an artist who still lives in the area. StageWorks has basically two arms. We have the producing arm, which is the plays that we do, and then we have the educational arm, which goes out into the community and teaches, brings art to people who won't necessarily have access to it otherwise. We have a very exciting future. You know, we're here in the heart of the Channel District, which is where a lot of good things are happening now, development, building new buildings, and downtown, which has been revitalized over the last several years too. So it feels like we're in the right place at the right time, and we look forward to a very, very bright future.
Oh, I ask every bird who comes back from the outside, to tell me what it's like, and they talk of things called trees that extend up a steel, opening onto an everywhere blue. There's something called clouds, swimming in the wind.
Birds of a Feather tells the story of two different groups of animals. There's a set of penguins, two male penguins in the Central Park Zoo, who adopt a chick and raise it as their own. And there's also a set of hawks who live at the top of a building in Manhattan that houses the rich and famous. Mary Tyler Moore lived there. Paula Zahn and her husband, a real estate developer, lived there. So those two stories were going on in New York at the same time. And Mark Aceto, who was a reporter for NPR at the time, covered the story, I want to say, for NPR, and then he thought it was an interesting way to talk about families, and so he built this play.
20 years ago, you came into this marriage with a net worth of exactly $250,000, and I busted my hump, turning it to $25 million. So all you had to worry about was your precious job.
And raising your children.
This story is a story about relationships, so it follows two main relationships in the story, but it has a bunch of smaller relationships that are throughout the story as well. And so it's really cool to see the parallels of all the relationships throughout this throughout the story.
They use animals to discuss everyday family and friendship issues, and it makes it easier to talk about.
For me! Ooh. Nature's plan is all about find the food, find the mate, make the nest, make the chicks, protect the nest, find the food, over and over again until it's over. Exactly.
No, Bill, I mean it. It's over.
Wait. Wait.
So it's a way to look at parenting and how we look at families and how we define them and what makes yours different from mine but not necessarily better than mine. So it's a lovely play that talks about, you know, unity and how we can all work and live together.
But Chastity has never engaged in any controversy until she encountered this book. Chastity, why do you object so strongly to this book?
Well, Diane,
Paula.
Aren't you Diane Sawyer?
I'm Paula Zahn from CNN.
I've known Carla Hartley, the director, for a while, and I've auditioned for her a bunch of times. And she asked me if I wanted to be a part of this, and I was like, absolutely. Yep. Penguins, a zookeeper, gay bar, absolutely.
Everything.
It's a great show that I'm proud to put on, and, you know, discuss the different relationships and understand people as human beings, really.
It was fun, it was quirky, it fits right into StageWorks' mission, which is at its base about diversity and how do we develop lines of communications from one group of people to the next.
It was a very neat show.
Yeah, and love runs through it all. You know, it's there, and so you don't want to block that off. Yeah.
We need to be more inclusive of families that love each other. Love is really the only thing that matters. So it's a special play for that reason.
I taught in Manhattan for 3 years. We had a section in our library that was books that were banned, and this book was featured. So it's a very real thing, and that's what the show opened with and closed with, is that everything in the story is true, except for the fact that birds can't talk.
The arts affect every aspect of a community, and I think not enough people know that or are willing to hear it. But that's our mission, is to bring arts to the communities that can't necessarily come here, but also we want people to come here to experience it. And, you know, we have a long history of diversity and bringing different groups of people together, and that's really one of the greater focuses of the organization, is to teach diversity, to teach harmony. And it sounds sort of pie in the sky, and it sounds idyllic, and that's exactly how I want it to sound.
Connect and learn more at stageworkstheater.org. That wraps it up for this edition of Gallery America. For more arts and culture, visit our website at oeta.tv, where you'll find videos, blogs, and information on upcoming arts events around the state. Be sure to enjoy and support the arts in your own backyard. Until next time, I'm Susan Cadeau.
Gallery America, brought to you in part by the Pauline Dwyer Mecklenburg and Robert A. Mecklenburg Jr. Foundation, and Simmons Allspa, and by Jasmine and Melvin Moran.